Hey rugby fans, Amy here. So obviously with today's breaking news, I thought that I would come on and do a quick little video for you. Coronavirus has seen our favourite sports postponed, but today it was announced that the TWRS Premier15s will not finish their season. So that obviously leads me to a fair amount of questions that I feel we really need answered by the RFU, especially, not just for us fans, but for the players themselves, It must be a very difficult time. The whole country's in limbo. None of us really know what's going on day to day. But other leagues are being given the chance to finish their season. So I just think it's really unfair that they've just outright ruled it out that the TWRS 15s can't finish it. And also, what's going to happen with the title? Like, Saris are at the top, but only by 2 points. So do we just award them the title? But then what about the other teams who could be making the playoffs, like Quins, Lightning, Gloucester? Is that fair on them? Do we want Saris to win? And then we've got all of the teams that have invested in new players. Quins have new Italian, Irish and Scottish and England internationals. Wasps have Spanish, Aussie and Italian players. DMP Sharks brought in 11 new players over the summer. So what happens to them, there's a travel ban on now, so where does that leave them? So it's very worrying times at the minute. But what about the senior players as well, who are coming to the end of their careers? And, are they ever going to get to play again if we just write the season off now? We've got Rocky Clark and Tamara Taylor. Have we seen the last of them? There's so many unanswered questions that I need to know what is going to happen. And then, with the retendering process as well, we've got the 4 clubs at the bottom. So do we just say, okay, bye, you're not in this anymore? Or is it frozen and we just automatically put them through? And if they are kicked out and the new clubs are brought in, how are they going to judge that? Because they haven't finished the season. I just don't think it's very fair, to be honest. And they don't have any chance to prove themselves worthy of staying now that the season's over. So yeah, it's just a big old mess, and that's not even thinking about England's usual summer tour or end of Women's Six Nations. We haven't even finished that yet. So it's really not looking good for Simon Middleton's World Cup preparation. I just think it's so unfair that the RFU have deemed it appropriate for the men's Gallagher Premier League to try and continue the season when all this madness is over. And even in football, it's much the same. They've even postponed the Euros to make sure that the European and English top flight teams get their opportunities to finish their leagues. So why is the same not happening in women's top flight clubs and leagues for rugby? I just don't think it's fair. And we're constantly hearing that these are unprecedented times. And now what happens? These are unprecedented times, and I'm sick of hearing that phrase. But what is going to happen? It's just madness. Absolute madness. So there we go. We don't know who's going to be in or out. Are they going to freeze it? Are the RFU going to come out and actually tell us what on earth is going to be happening? And with the retendering thing, if they have already chosen what teams are going to go in and out, then what is even the point if they've already chosen that? Why did they have to go through that whole process in the beginning? It just seems weird. But I just don't think it's fair to prioritise one team over the other. And this whole thing that we're trying to get in sports, equality. We've just celebrated International Women's Day. And people said, I think things are really looking up for women in sport. And I beg to differ. And now this latest decision from the Rugby and Football Union just proves that we are still a very, very long way away from having equality. Money talks, unfortunately, and I can see that is probably the only reason for letting the men's league finish, or at least not ruling out ending the season where it currently sits. And then we have the TV rights and things like that. But, this doesn't help the clubs in the TWRS 15. So that's it. My little rant is over. I haven't got any of the answers that I wanted, but what do you guys think? Comment down below and let us know.